What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Jay Calderon, Stan Clee Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's boxing talk. We're going to do a recap over some of the fights that took place this past weekend. First up, it's the HBO card for perhaps upset of the year so far when WBO light heavyweight champion Sergey "the Crusher" Kovalev took on top 175-pound contender Eleider Storm Alvarez from Colombia, who fights out of Canada. This was a fight matchup where Alvarez came out boxing very beautifully in the first couple of rounds. He was looking very strong with that powerful jab that he was snapping the head back of Sergey Kovalev. Kovalev was trying to find his rhythm, but Alvarez was looking very good, moving in that ring and working off the jab, setting up his shots. But then in the third round, we saw that Kovalev started to pick up the pace. He started to let his hands go a lot more and started to land his power shots, backing up Alvarez to the ropes and also getting caught cleanly with some of the Crusher's best shots. Now, the Crusher started to look more and more confident, more and more dominant throughout this fight. As the fight got into the middle rounds, Crusher was ahead on the scorecards, and he was looking very good. The best Sergey Kovalev that I've seen in quite some time against a top-notch contender, because the last two guys that he fought, these guys were basically weak opponents that he was facing. This guy right here, Alvarez, is considered one of the best at 175 pounds. And in the 7th round, he showed why he is such a dangerous opponent. In that round, he was able to land a perfectly timed right hand, which had sent Sergey crashing down to the canvas, and he was hurt. He got up on wobbly legs, and Alvarez went right back to work, landing some beautiful combinations with the right hand, and also a very good, hard-hitting left hook that put the Crusher down to the canvas. Once again, Crusher was in bad shape. This fight did not have to continue, but the referee allowed the fight to continue. Crusher got back to his feet, and he was just a dead man walking because Alvarez just hit him with a few more punches and sent him down to the canvas for the third and final time. As the referee waved off the fight, we have a new WBO light heavyweight champion of the world, and his name is Eleider Storm Alvarez. And now he is a major player at 175 pounds against some very big names in the division. Adonis Stevenson has avoided this man for nearly 2 years, not giving him a title shot. And we know now why he has been avoiding this man. This guy is the real deal. He is a strong light heavyweight with a very good jab and some excellent boxing skills, and he has quite a bit of a punch, as you saw against the Crusher, where he was able to drop him 3 times in this fight and punctuate a devastating knockout upset of the year. Social media went crazy once this man beat the Crusher. Now, I know there's a lot of hate for this man, Sergey "the Crusher" Kovalev, because some people believe that he's a racist, but this man is not a finished fighter. Roy Jones, the great legendary fighter, said that at the age of 35, Sergey Kovalev is done. But no disrespect to Roy Jones, perhaps one of the greatest fighters that I've ever seen throughout my lifetime. Roy Jones, your career was over the minute Glenn Johnson knocked you out, but you went well past into your 40s and continued your career. So Sergey Kovalev, at the age of 35, who was looking very good in this fight, still has a lot left in the tank to continue his career and face some of the top light heavyweights in the division right now. This was just a matter of him getting caught with a very good shot that he could not recover from. It happens. It happens in boxing. It happened against you versus Antonio Tarver when he knocked you out. So it's definitely not over for the Crusher. He has an immediate rematch clause against Alvarez if he decides to take that and exercise his clause. Now, if he decides to take some time off and not come back this year, he could perhaps fight Alvarez sometime in the spring of 2019. That will pave the way for another great fight opportunity for a unification match against WBA light heavyweight champion Dmitry Bivol, who fought on the undercard. And I gotta tell you, I'm really impressed with this guy. This guy is coming up in just his 14th professional fight from Russia with some very good skills. This guy can box. He can use his jab. He goes to the body well. He has very quick hands, and he's an explosive, hard-hitting puncher. He is a very dangerous fighter in this weight division, and he is rising very fast. He had an excellent performance against Isaac Chilemba. Chilemba is a tough, very good fighter who, by the way, had Roy Jones Jr. in his corner, and he did a good job with Chilemba. This man is a very tough warrior, and he went 12 rounds with the champion, the same way he went the distance with Sergey Kovalev, and Kovalev with his punching power could not put Chilemba away. So Dmitry Bivol gets a lot of work done in a very good, strong performance, and now he moves forward. His team was looking to get a unification matchup on HBO later on this year in December between two top Russian fighters. Now, Dmitry Bivol had said that he wasn't really thrilled about facing a Russian countryman, but now he's very excited to take on Eleider Alvarez, and this is a great matchup. Will Alvarez handlers put him in this title unification if Sergey Kovalev does not exercise his rematch clause? This is a great fight. This is a fight that definitely HBO will be interested in. And I know that the boxing fans would love to see this fight because Alvarez has great boxing skills. He displayed punching power, and we know that Dmitry Bivol is a very fast fighter with some very good hard-hitting punching power, and he has great fundamentals to really match Alvarez in a great fight. So let's hope that this fight could come together, and then the winner of that unification match could fight Sergey Kovalev in 2019, and it could be either revenge or repeat, or perhaps the Russian showdown that we were waiting to see later on this year. But my hats off and congratulations to Eleider the Storm Alvarez. This was definitely upset of the year. Now, moving along over to the Fox Network televised card where it was a big night of boxing. First on FS1 channel, we had a very good card with the return of Luis Collazo, former world champion out of Brooklyn, who stepped into the ring after a long layoff of perhaps almost 2 years off, and he showed a very tough game performance against a young contender that was rising in the rankings. And Lou Collazo showed that craftiness, that sharpness. He looked very good in this fight. He showed that tremendous heart of a true champion, and he edged out a very good decision victory to move forward with his career. He says he would like to face any one of the top welterweights that are available out there right now. And guess what? Errol Spence Jr., the IBF Kingpin, is available in the welterweight division with no opponent for his December date. Luis Collazo is a perfect opponent that will want to take that fight and really give a competitive effort against Errol Spence. Now, I know a lot of people would love to see Mikey Garcia. I'm a big Mikey Garcia fan, but I am a true believer that these weight classes are set for a reason. There are very few men that have done it in the past. Mikey Garcia is a slow fighter, but a very smart boxer with good punching power that I don't think is going to carry on to a much bigger man against Errol Spence, who is basically a junior middleweight fighting at the welterweight division. Errol Spence is a very good technician fighter with extreme punching power and an excellent body puncher. And he's going to wear down the much smaller fighter in Mikey Garcia. It will be a good fight and a great profile fight that a lot of boxing fans are definitely going to want to tune in, including myself. But I believe that he should face guys like Luis Collazo, Jesse Vargas, Andre Berto, Amir Khan. These type of guys he should definitely fight, especially even Sergey Lipinets, who was on the undercard that night, and he made his introduction into the 147-pound weight division. This man is a former world champion, and he gave Mikey Garcia the toughest challenge of his pro career. And I believe Lipinets is a very tough, durable game fighter for a guy like Errol Spence Jr. And that's a fight that I would love to see as well. Why not have any one of these two fighters right here, Luis Collazo or Sergey Lipinets, fight Errol Spence in December? It's a matchup where both of these guys will truly push Errol Spence to the limit and really take him into deep waters before he's able to overcome these guys with his strength and his punching power and break these guys down for a final stoppage, or perhaps win a tough but lopsided 12th round decision victory. I don't think Mikey Garcia will make it to the final bell. I believe that he will get knocked out by a guy like Errol Spence in this fight. Even though I would love to see Mikey Garcia move up to test himself to be great, I still have concerns about him facing a guy like Errol Spence. I believe Spence should face one of the guys in his own weight division because these guys are tough and durable, and they will give him a very good fight. Now, also on that card, we saw Marcus Browne make his return to the ring in a fight where he had to climb off the deck, and he was able to win a decision victory against his opponent. He didn't look that great, but Marcus Browne is in line for a title shot. He's going to be looking for the Eleider Alvarez sweepstake and he hopes to get a title shot soon because he was supposed to face Sergey Kovalev this night, but it did not happen because of legal issues that happened outside of the boxing ring. Now Marcus Browne is back. I still say that he needs a few more fights before he takes on the top fighters at 175 pounds. I think Alvarez would definitely dispatch a guy like Marcus Browne if they ever meet. So, you know, let's hope that he gets himself together, takes care of his issues outside of the ring, and gets back in with a very nice win, because this one right here did not impress me, and I don't think he's ready. Now, the co-feature of that evening was former middleweight champion Peter Kid Chocolate Quillin, who made his return against Jay Leon Love. This was a fight matchup where it was a lopsided decision. Peter Quillin was making his second fight after his long layoff, and he was just getting in the groove. He looked pretty good. He looked decent. He looked very solid in this fight, strong at 168 pounds, and he took care of business the way he was supposed to. He got the decision victory. It wasn't a knockout performance, but he puts himself in line because of his name value for a title shot for perhaps the winner of the WBC Super Middleweight Championship between David Benavidez and Anthony Dirrell. This is a good fight for Peter Quillin because I know he's getting up there in age. He wants the big fights. He would love a title shot opportunity, and Al Heyman is affiliated with all these guys under management, so this is an easy fight to make. So I look forward to him getting that title shot in the near future. Now, the main event of the evening was Andre Berto versus Devon Alexander, two former welterweight champions. This was basically a fight of who's going to stay alive and keep their career going to get a title shot down the road. Now, Andre Berto didn't look all that great. He got knocked down early in the fight. Devon Alexander, who believed that he won this fight, it was a very, very close fight. And I got to tell you, I scored this fight a draw because Devon Alexander started out good in the beginning, but then he started to fade very badly, the same way he did against Victor Ortiz. But I believe he beat Victor Ortiz in that fight. And in this fight, I gave it a draw. I think that the knockdown plus what Berto did finishing off strong gave this fight a draw, but Berto was given the decision victory. He keeps his career alive. Will he get an opportunity to fight a guy like Errol Spence? I believe he gets knocked out by Errol Spence very easily, but it's a fight that he deserves because he got a good win. You know, he could also have the rematch against Luis Collazo. That's a great fight that took place many years ago, but they got unfinished business, and I believe Luis Collazo could give him another run for his money and definitely beat him, because I see Berto as a guy that's pretty washed up, but he was able to get past a guy like Devon Alexander, who I believe is struggling to get back on top, and he just faded. His conditioning has to be well. Maybe he needs a new strength and conditioning coach that could help him get his conditioning where it needs to be, because these last two fights, he really started to fade badly. But that's my final recap on the fights that took place this past weekend. I'd like to thank everyone who tuned into this YouTube channel right here, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. Please hit that little red subscribe button, put your email information in so you get all my notifications. Once I drop a new video, hit that like button, hit that share button, drop a comment. Also, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and join the Facebook boxing group page, all under the same name, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm J. Calderon, Stand Clean Entertainment. Thanks for your support, keep watching, and please subscribe.